And we're back with another video. Today I want to talk to you guys about something that I've been having to realize, specifically when it comes to dealing with past fears, right? So we can tend to have a regression into our traumas where we might have experienced something back here, but then something else happens that prompts that fear again, and it prevents us from learning, right? And so today I want to talk to you about a tactic that I use. I don't use it as much as I should. And so my hope is to impart to you guys how using it has helped me, and specifically for the guys on this one, because I'm pretty sure a lot of the ladies that are watching will know exactly what I'm talking about and where I come from as soon as I start discussing this. So today I want to talk to you about living in the present moment. And so to live in this space of the present moment is to be devoid, right? Is to be devoid of rehearsing our past, just like I talked about in that last video. So I'm not thinking about what happened 3 years ago down the line in my own mistakes, right? I'm not listening to that inner critic, or as some people might call it in other religions, the devil or enemy, or some other power / entity that is telling me these negative things, right? When I'm in the present moment, I'm not thinking about any of those things, as well as me not hashing out potential landmines down the road or anxieties. And I do want to caution something that I have been reading, right? For those of us who have been victims of trauma or abuse growing up, this is part of that self-sabotaging that we talked about in attachment styles as well, right? Because I'm looking at the landmines ahead of time. Oh, I got to prepare myself, right? Well, this person isn't the one. I can tell you this, and this. This is why. But really, we're making excuses from the trauma that we never completely healed through from our past. So I speak to you all incessantly about immersing yourself in the sights and the beauty, and it's probably like this droning, but it has a very prominent feature that I need you guys to understand. When you're in preschool or kindergarten, depending on what school you went to, we learn about the 5 senses. So sight, smells, the sounds, touching, and tasting. These are all things that ground us. And I'm sure you guys have heard of grounding. For those of you who have dealt with anxiety or panic attacks, one of the first things I recommend doing is grounding. So in this time setting, right? In this very time setting, right now I'm standing on a carpet. I have a wooden wardrobe behind me that reminds me of Narnia. And I'm existing. I'm just being here now in this video. Okay? And you're going to understand why. If I was not present in this video right now, you would not be as tuned into what I have to say and what I'm about to say to you. Okay? Because my mind would be over here. Right? I'm not worried about, oh my God, what's happening tomorrow? Oh, we got this on the schedule. I got to see XYZ client. And I'm not worried about, hey, remember that time that you did this and you failed to live up to that measure? None of those things are affecting me right now. I am 100% here with you right now. And I can tell I have your attention and you are receptive. So here's a brief statistic for you. As of last year, there was a study conducted in which a human's attention span was compared to a common goldfish that you might win at like a fair, right? Now, you might think, wow, that's a really strange study for them to conduct. Why did they conduct that? Well, it turns out that humans have a whopping 8 seconds of attention. And we wonder why we can't tune in and tune out to things, right? We wonder why we're so distracted by TV and the radio and our phone notifications and all this visual stimuli. Guess how much a goldfish has an attention span for? 9 seconds. 9 seconds. Explain to me in what world a goldfish has more of an attention span than a human, unless previously conditioned over the years to respond to just what stimulates us rather than just being here. So where are you directing your energy to? Now, like I shared, the common issue that we have primarily with being present and being with ourselves and just taking up that space is due to those distractions. Now, I'm a follower of minimalism. I do believe in it to an extent, right? My personal belief is that I don't need all these status symbols to feel accepted or to feel worthy, or I'm sure those things are nice, but I have my own ideal picture of what I want. They say you to write like 10 years down the road, you want this, okay? One, I'm big on just owning a ton of land. And this land, it's going to be a lot of like pasture. Maybe have a little farm with a little river flowing through it. I'd like to have some mountains by me personally. I'd definitely like to be off the grid. I'd like to create my own greenhouse system that is completely self-sustainable, right? It's renewable, it doesn't use, and it doesn't use tons of electricity, but also it keeps everything safe. I don't like my foods with pesticides on them. And in later videos, we will talk about like the nutritional aspect and things like that. But literally every time that I have a video, just so you guys realize, I literally get out of bed and something just tells me. I feel like it's God, but I hear, this is what you need to talk about today. Now, I don't know the people that I'm going to touch with this, but that doesn't matter. It's important that I share this with you so you know what the direction is. None of these are like, I'm going to write this down. And the times that I have written it down, it's completely gone the other way. It's completely gone off the script. Even this one, I was going to talk about something else, and somehow it segued. So I was like, all right, take the wheel, We have to combat these choices that we make of these distractions and the things that pull us away from just being here. And then you have to ask yourself, why is there such a struggle with just being present? So one of the biggest issues that we run into as men is what I call the selective hearing. Now, in the past I might joke around, with like family and stuff. Oh, you didn't hear me? No, it's selective hearing. And I'm being 100% sarcastic. When men use the excuse of selective hearing, A, they genuinely heard it and we don't really want to act on it, or we just don't feel like doing it. So we tell you, no, I didn't hear that. Or B, we actually got distracted, and our issue then was not giving full attention to what needed to be given full attention to. And so we as men don't understand. I've talked before about masculine and feminine energy. We don't understand that women need to feel that validation, they need to feel received, right? And they need to be praised. And you might be like, Ario, my girlfriend doesn't need that. She has like a very specific, no, like I got it in the bag, she's with me. Okay, that might work for a little while, but every woman, any biological woman, wants to be received and validated as an individual, right? Wants to be loved. And so the issue stems when we are off center, right? We're thinking about something else and not being in the present moment. We're not standing here and we're not fully giving our attention, right? We're not giving 100% attention to her. So then the issue that we run into as men is we go, well, I don't understand why she's feeling that way, right? She might even become cold and calloused all of a sudden because she expects us to know the answer. Now, this is another reason why I make these videos, is men and women are two very different. There's different parts of the brain that are more active in each male and female. And so when she expects something, us men, we have a one-track mind. Okay, we don't have the ability to multitask. This has been proven. So if we can only focus on one task at a time, either my attention is being, I don't know if you guys, there's an episode of The Simpsons that I saw when I was younger. And it is Marge is talking to him, and Homer's literally thinking of a monkey smashing a bunch of symbols together, okay? This is how us men think. We have a one-track mind. It's just like visual stimuli, right? A woman's got boobs. Just staring at the boobs, bro. What's wrong with you? You act like you've never seen a pair of boobs before. Rather than like, oh, I don't know what her deal is, you know. She's just acting too emotional. She's being this way. You need to listen to her. You need to sit down with her and you need to listen to her. Again, remember guys, if she does not, this is a tip, if she does not say that she wants any help, do not give her any tips. She literally just wants somebody to vent to. And some of you literally think that once you get in a relationship that it's like super kosher. And then there's other like guys that I know that play the field a bit, and they don't think that a woman's eventually going to bring her emotional issues to the table. You're in for a rude awakening, my friend. Even if you start out as friends, you know, like sleeping together, she's still going to bring out emotional issues that she's having, and she hopes to vent to you, right? So you have to decide, is that something that you're willing to do as a man? Are you going to sit down, or are you going to continue to be non-receptive to a woman's needs and then wonder why women feel the way they feel about us? But in that moment, you were not present in your body, and therefore could not contribute to the conversation that she was sharing with you. Okay, sometimes they don't want back and forth, but maybe in this case she wanted back and forth and you weren't there 100%. So then maybe you hear from her, it just feels like you are not there with me. What's wrong? Okay, anytime that a woman says what is wrong to you, she's expecting you to like be super receptive and tell her, this happened at work today and I just did da 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 da. But that's like girl talk for, I really want an insight into your mind, like I'm kind of getting anxiety. What's troubling you? I can see you're perturbed. I can see that you are emotionally distressed. What's wrong with you? So my guy, either you checked out of the relationship a long time ago, or you just have absolutely no clue. You're clueless. So I'm here to give some pointers to the boys and girls. Now, one of the biggest contesters to our success of living in the present is control. This can be control in any aspect of our lives, right? Because the present is to exist without expectations, to je ne sais quoi, ride the wave. And that's absolutely terrifying for some of us, especially those of us who weren't able to have control over certain environments as we grew up, or whether we had an abusive ex, or we just were around a partner that we couldn't trust and open up to. They were unpredictable, they might have been violent. There's all these different little patterns that are along the way, but that's the beauty of self-development and self-improvement, is we're consistently trying to improve upon ourselves, and there's never enough that we can do, right? I personally don't think that we can ever achieve full perfection, because God, the Lord of the universe, is an entire being, right? He's 100%, he's whole, he's full. What I want you guys to do with me for the next minute here is to take the time aside, and I'm going to teach you that tactic that has helped me so much. I used to do it every day before I started working for UPS, because I had to load the trucks, and then I had to do a full 6 to 8 hours driving around doing deliveries. Alright, so this technique that I'm about to show you guys is actually used, it's for anybody in any situation, but particularly if you have social anxiety, if you're stressed, if you have a panic attack, I mean even depression. It's important to even do this in the morning if you can. I'd like to incorporate it into my morning routine. I used to do this. Just like anybody else, I get complacent and I put my effort into other things. So, they train this with Navy SEALs. Navy SEALs know this tactic. So before you're like, oh Ariana, boo-hoo this thing, this looks stupid. Let me remind you that the toughest badass dudes on this planet are Navy SEALs. As a man, you should know anybody in the military that's a Navy SEAL, I would not want to mess with. I respect them. I would not want to mess with them. So they teach a technique called box breathing, right? And I'm going to give you guys the steps. The first step is you breathe in for 4 seconds. So When I talk about breathing in, you're breathing in through your nose. So, and you're going to hold that for 4 seconds. After you've held that for 4 seconds, we're going to exhale. We're going to exhale. We're going to empty out the tank, right? So we'll just do this real quick. Then we're going to repeat that. Then at some point we're holding our lungs empty, right? We're holding our lungs empty for another 4 seconds. Here we go again. Now, breathing exercises boost nitric oxide levels, which is good for pushing blood flow and oxygenation to the brain so you can think better, memorize better, things like that, but it also helps with muscles. And then you just repeat that for 5 to 10 minutes or as recommended. And so this is just a very specific technique, right? You can close your eyes too if it helps. I'm just not closing my eyes so I can give you guys a visual and teach you how to do it. And it also bears mentioning that the way that I grew up, I want to specify, because there might be people watching this of a specific faith that think that breathing techniques or meditation in itself is of the devil. So I just want to clarify, specifically in the Bible it talks about mind-altering substances, right? So that could be like drugs, alcohol, things that push me out of my body and out of my spirit. I don't really think of breathing exercises that way because we know the scientific benefits of breathing exercises. And I'm not emptying my mind so this mumbo jumbo can fill me and I get possessed by some, demon or something crazy like that, If it makes you feel better, you can put on some music, you can focus on God. It really is up to you. But I think to condemn people for doing a technique that is for thousands of years been used not only for health benefits, medicinal benefits, mental benefits, physical benefits, all these things that correlate, is to really throw the baby out with the bathwater. And so I just ask you guys to do your own research. And it's okay if you question other people's beliefs. I just ask that you keep it respectful with others, no matter who you encounter, and then always do your own research. Don't just listen to things that I say. I never passively listen to anything. I do extensive, studious research. And so the nice thing about it is you don't have to have your legs crossed. You could have your legs spread out, in my opinion. It's good to do stretches in the morning with it. You don't have to do anything weird like putting your leg behind your head. Not that I would, because I'd probably tear my groin area, and that wouldn't be good. Some of us aren't born contortionists, so I definitely wouldn't recommend it. But if this advice was helpful to you, I'd appreciate it if you leave a comment below or you like the video. Make sure you hit the bell button and subscribe. I think this is the second to last time before I go on the trip. I think we're 2 weeks out now, roughly. And so if I've impacted your life in any way, I'm going to put the link below. Please look at my previous videos as to what this is for. Basically, I'm going to a mentorship conference. It's similar to the Big Brother program in the 80s, where I'm helping kids learn to be mentored with relationship skills, social skills, interpersonal skills, just those common life skills. Maybe we didn't have them growing up from a parent, or school didn't teach us, which, go figure. But I am also going there to be mentored as well. And so I look forward to meeting the kids. And if I've sowed anything into your life, I'd appreciate it if you guys would donate. We're getting very close to our goal. I'm continuing just praying that it comes in, and I know that it will. As always, stay frosty.